Welcome back to Speakeasy, the podcast that helps you speak English with confidence and clarity. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we're tackling a question you'll hear almost every time you meet someone new. What do you do? It sounds simple, but talking about your job or studies can be surprisingly tricky in English, with all the specific vocabulary and ways we describe our daily tasks. Joining me again today is our fantastic learner, Kenji. Kenji, great to have you back.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm happy to be here. This is a very useful topic for me.
Absolutely. Today, Kenji and I will chat about our work lives and we'll highlight some common phrases and expressions that will help you describe your own job or studies more naturally. Remember, we're all about real conversation and gentle guidance here. So let's dive in. All right, Kenji, let's start with you. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about what you do? Are you working or are you studying?
Yes, I am working. I am an engineer in a big company. My company makes parts for cars. I am responsible for the quality control. Every day, I check the parts to be sure they are good. It is a very important job because if the parts are not good, the cars can be dangerous. I like my job, but sometimes it is very stress.
That sounds like a really crucial role, Kenji. Quality control is so important. You said, I am a engineer. That's a tiny thing, but because engineer starts with a vowel sound, we use an instead of a. So I am an engineer. It's just a little sound thing that makes it flow better. Does that make sense?
An engineer. Yes, I always forget an before vowels. Thank you.
No problem at all. So, you're an engineer responsible for quality control. What does a typical day look like for you?
My day starts early. I arrive to office at 8 a.m. First, I check my emails. Then, I go to the factory floor. I supervise the machines and the workers. Sometimes I have meetings with my team. We discuss about the problems and how to fix them. I finish work at 6 p.m. Then I go home and I cook dinner for my family.
That sounds like a very full day, Kenji. You said, I arrive to office. We usually say, I arrive at the office or I arrive at work. To is usually for movement towards a place, but at is for a specific location. And you also said we discuss about the problems. With discuss, we don't need about. We just say we discuss the problems. It's one of those verbs that doesn't need a preposition right after it. Tricky, right?
At the office and discuss the problems. Yes, I always put about after discuss. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. So, you're checking parts, supervising, having meetings. What's the most challenging part of your job?
The most challenging part is when we have a big problem with a part and we need to find the solution very fast. Sometimes the pressure is very high. My boss, he wants the answer quickly. I must to think very quick and make decision.
I can imagine that pressure, Kenji. It sounds like you're under a lot of responsibility. You said sometimes it is very stress. Stress is a noun, like I feel stress. But when you're describing the job itself, we use the adjective stressful. So sometimes it is very stressful. And you also said, I must too think very quick. Remember from our last episode, with must, we don't use to after it, so I must think very quickly. And quickly because it's describing how you think, which is a verb. Lots of little things there.
Stressful and must think quickly. Yes, I remember must without to, and quickly for the verb. This is very helpful. Thank you.
You're doing great, Kenji. So, despite the stressful moments, what do you enjoy most about being an engineer?
I enjoy when we find a solution to a difficult problem. It feels very good. And I like to work with my team. They are very smart people. We learn from each other. Also, I like to see the cars on the road and know that I helped to make them safe. It gives me a sense of proud.
That's a fantastic feeling, Kenji, seeing the results of your hard work. And working with smart people is always a bonus. You said, it gives me a sense of proud. Proud is an adjective, like I am proud. But when you're talking about the feeling itself, the noun is pride. So it gives me a sense of pride. It's that feeling of satisfaction and self-respect. That's a wonderful thing to feel about your job.
Ah, sense of pride. Yes, that makes sense.
Wow, Kenji, thank you for giving us such a clear picture of your work as an engineer. It's clear you're passionate about what you do. Let's quickly recap some of the key points we covered today that can help our listeners talk about their own jobs or studies. First, remember your articles. A before consonant sounds, an before vowel sounds, so it's an engineer. Second, be careful with prepositions. We arrive at the office and we discuss the problems. Know about. Third, adjectives versus nouns. Your job is stressful, adjective, and you feel stress, noun. And remember our must rule from last time. Must think quickly, no to. Finally, that great phrase, a sense of pride, when you feel good about your achievements, not a sense of proud. Now, let's talk about some common phrases you can use to describe your job or studies more naturally, just like a native speaker would. These are great for networking, interviews, or just casual conversation. Instead of just, I work in a company, you could say, I work for company name. I work in the industry. I'm in field. I specialize in specific area. When describing your daily tasks, my main responsibilities include I handle. A typical day involves I oversee. And for talking about what you enjoy or find challenging, I really enjoy. The most rewarding part is the biggest challenge is. It can be quite demanding, fast-paced, creative. Kenji, can you try describing your job again using one or two of these new phrases?
Okay. I work for a big company in the automotive industry. My main responsibilities include quality control. A typical day involves supervising machines and having meetings. I really enjoy finding solutions to difficult problems.
Fantastic, Kenji. See how that adds more detail and sounds even more professional. These phrases are super useful. Kenji, what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone trying to describe their job in English for the first time?
I would say try to use simple words first and don't worry about perfect grammar. Just try to explain what you do and listen to how native speakers talk about their jobs.
Excellent advice, Kenji. Start simple, focus on getting your message across, and listen for those natural phrases. It's all about building confidence step by step. For our listeners, remember that practice makes perfect. Try describing your own job or studies out loud using some of the phrases we discussed today. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. So, to summarize our key takeaways from today's episode, what do you do? Talking about your job or studies. Use an before vowel sounds. An engineer. Correct prepositions. Arrive at the office. Discuss the problems. Adjective versus noun. It is very stressful. I feel stress. Must without to. I must think quickly. Sense of pride. It gives me a sense of pride. New key phrases. I work for, in. My main responsibilities include I handle, I oversee, I really enjoy, the most rewarding part is, the biggest challenge is. Thank you so much, Kenji, for sharing your insights and experiences with us today.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you, our listeners, for tuning in. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident when talking about your professional life in English. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with a friend who's learning English. Do you have a tricky phrase about your job that you'd like us to explain? let us know. Until next time, keep speaking easy.